Yeah, hey guys, we're at Gooichi Motors out here in Loxahatchee, Florida. Just wanted to shoot a little bit of what's going on in the shop. We got a lot of crazy content. Just want to kind of fill you in on what we're doing, what our plans are. It's the end of 2022. We're gonna be hitting up 23 pretty hard, so I wanted to kind of show you what we got kind of in the works, let you know what's going on with Pistachio and our other builds, and kind of give you a little bit of the vibe of what's going to be happening for next year with YouTube and everything we got going on in here. I mean, I know a lot of people have seen this car at SEMA, and obviously it's a little bit different from at SEMA. So we're kind of working through it. We pulled the motor back out, going through it, getting it 100%. The goal is to have this thing running in the next few months. So a lot of development, a lot of things kind of in the works, and that's kind of the final stages now of getting it 100% together, getting it on the track, dialed in, all that fun stuff. So yeah, if you guys haven't been following the shop, we were joking about it the other day, like, you know, this car was running with the Turbo LS like 5 years ago when we took it to SEMA the first time. And 5 years, a lot changed. Like, social media's gotten crazy, YouTube's gotten crazy. So like, if you haven't been following the shop, at least on Instagram, like, you don't really know this car, you don't know the history behind it. So, you know, a lot of feedback from SEMA was, you know, obviously we didn't get it done in time. A lot of things happened, and we brought what we could, we did our best. But we got a lot of people saying, oh, it's a show car, it's missing parts and all this stuff. But just want to let you guys know, like, this thing's serious. It's always been kind of a track, drift missile, nasty street car, and we're planning to use it and abuse it. So that's kind of our goals, is getting the V12 in it, getting it dialed in 100%, and pushing these M120 Mercedes motors pretty heavily. So yeah, excited. A lot of content coming on this car. Of course, once it's running and driving, it'll be a whole other video series for that stuff. But yeah, as far as everything else that's in the shop, we are trying to set our schedule for 23. So SEMA's our goal next year. We got a couple crazy SEMA builds that we're gonna document. We're gonna do like a video log style for our channel moving forward. Obviously, we don't have much on the channel so far, so we're gonna start filming. We already have started filming kind of what we got going on a weekly basis, not just, you know, one car, but, you know, we got a bunch of crazy builds. So we kind of want to document everything. And part of it is we're going to start documenting the SEMA build for next year from basically start to finish. So it's a BMW, Mercedes power. It's going to be a lot of power. It's going to be crazy. So definitely stay tuned for updates on that. But everything else in the shop, we got Yassiel's little FC, little Turbo LS drift missile. It's gonna be a pretty nasty street car. Everything's getting HGT sequentials. We run HGT sequential transmissions in basically every build we have here. So it'll be like a 700-800 horse street car. Super clean, fit and finish on it will be nice. But yeah, it's gonna be a cool little build, cool little track build. So this one, Alex's Impossible, and then the BMW are kind of the SEMA builds for next year. So we'll see what we can do to get them all done. But yeah, the Impossible RX-7. This has been a build that's been kind of around for years. He took it to SEMA back in 2001, and won Best of Show in this car. Same color, same R-Magic body kit with a rotary in it, and he spent the last 20 years kind of buying parts, developing this car to basically be the best it can be. So we've actually shot this motor. If you guys don't know him or follow him, this is a full billet 4-rotor that Chip Motorsports and Pack Performance put together. We shot a whole lot of content when this motor was coming together last year, so we got a pretty sweet builds video that's coming of basically doing everything, the final machining and assembly of this 4-rotor. Hey guys, follow along as we document one of the world's most legendary RX-7 builds of all time, Impossible RX-7. We're going to be filming every step of the way, and we're kicking it off at Chip Motorsports in Detroit, Michigan with the motor assembly. This is arguably one of the most insane 4-rotors ever assembled. So please click subscribe and stay tuned. I know I got a lot of hate from swapping my FD, and hopefully this one makes up for it, because we got two massive precision turbos, a big chunk of billet for the sequential, and yeah, this thing is either billet, carbon, or titanium, or gold. Like, this thing is the best of the best. Alex's whole vision for the car was to build it to the max. Like, everything he could possibly do, he did to it. So we got carbon brakes and carbon fiber, you know, seats and full interior, and like all the billet motor work. Like, it's it's gonna be over the top. To say over the top is like understating this build, but it's gonna be a big one. So obviously we just started on the crossover last weekend, and we're gonna start getting this thing together, get the motor in it, get it all mocked up, and then start building it. So definitely keep an eye out for this car. I guess moving around the shop, we got M120 Mercedes V12s all over the place. Here's the motor out of my car. Basically finishing the head work on it, and then it can go back together for final assembly. Like I said, a couple months, hopefully it'll be running. I got another M120 for the BMW, and then the Exoboost. So this was like the understated build of a SEMA for us, because we took it out there, but it was in a spot in front and people didn't know what it was. The Exoboost is a kit car from the UK. The owner, Jason, came to us and said, I want the world's fastest Exoboost. So the motor's built by Stubbs Performance, 850 horsepower motor, big comp turbo, Haltech EMS, it's got full traction control. We got active aero planned for it, ABS. Basically it should be like 650 horse, is probably gonna be even too much for it, but it's gonna be just a nasty road race build. So we just got it running, get it on the dyno here pretty soon, see what this thing's gonna make and do some track videos of it, smashing some lap times and killing tires. But yeah, so that's the immediate projects we got going on. Like I said, we've got the Z4, so I guess I'll just spill the beans, right? So the Z4 is up on the lift. That's the SEMA build for this year that's getting a whole lot of work done to it. So if you see it, it doesn't look like a Z4. It looks like it's been a few places, been around the track a couple times. So that's a GT3 BMW Z4 we picked up in Lithuania as a shell. So it was a road race car its whole life. We picked it up as a shell, shipped it over, and that is getting a full M120 V12, a little bit of boost, more sequential action. We're actually turning that into a street car, so it'll be fully street legal, and basically a street legal all-out track missile. It's gonna be fun, but fit and finish, SEMA build, so we're gonna go through and make sure everything looks nice and looks the part. It's not just a show car. But I think that's what I wanna hit home, is what we do is it's all purpose built. If you've seen any of the Hoonigan video we did of the Challenger that's tucked in the corner. I mean, that was the SEMA build, and literally got the car done and they're like, hey, bring it out. And we just shredded the tires in it, like no questions asked. That's kind of what we do. So yeah, just wanted to let you guys know that, that's kind of what we're about. And like I said, we're shooting a ton of content and getting really excited for this year to get these builds kind of out there. A lot of people want to see them, so it's going to be cool to document them and show you guys the process of start to finish. We started like 15, 16 years ago as a motorcycle shop. So we started building sport bikes and metric cruisers, basically just gearing towards the weird kind of platforms. Like we did a lot of builds on Ducatis and things that are a purist bike that nobody really built or made a bunch of parts for. So we kind of started doing kind of the oddball platform. So when we switched back to cars, that's kind of what we did too. Like we got a bunch of FDs now, but we've got a 72 Challenger in the background and this thing, and we're kind of all over the spectrum. And having said that, like we kind of have been known for doing kind of the weird builds. And a lot of the things that we do is like these ground up builds. So on the bikes, we started talking, we sit down with the customer and say, get a rendering, what do you want to see? And we do a rendering, and then we do it all the way to the full build. So that's kind of what we've done with the cars too. So the direction we've been is we specialize in ground up builds. So we do, basically everything but the paint. We do the full fabrication, we do any of the performance work, all the wiring, basically everything but paint in-house. So a lot of the stuff we do isn't just, hey, can you put a turbo kit on a car? Can you throw some wheels on it? We actually do the whole thing, all suspension geometry, and set it up and tune it and do all that stuff. So that's why a lot of the builds we're doing are kind of all out, because we had a full plan for it. We started from, a base shell and built it all the way up to that. So yeah, we do, we do it all. We do a lot of titanium work, a lot of manufacturing. We got a CNC mill, so we do a lot of prototype work and manufacturing as far as that goes. So a good example is the M120. We ended up getting this motor and saying, hey, let's V12 swap an RX-7, that'd be cool. And then quickly realized there's really no parts available for them. I've said this a few times in interviews and stuff, but like, you're talking the S600 Mercedes back in the 2000s was 140 grand. Those those, you know, businessmen that are buying those cars aren't ripping them apart and throwing cams and a bunch of things in those motors. They're too expensive. It's not the platform that people are gonna do them in. So Pagani took the motor and dropped it in the Zonda. And the first Zondas, the C12s, are all basically a stock S600 motor. And then they did the 7.3 stroker and built them. But same situation. No one's grabbing their Zondas because nobody really owns a Zonda unless you're on that level and doing things to them. So, you know, we got this platform and quickly realized there's not really much available. So because we do manufacturing and all this crazy stuff, it's like, hey, let's design our rods, let's design the pistons, let's 5-axis port the heads, develop the valve train, and then in that, we made like a full billet dry sump pan and all the accessories and all the brackets to make it work. So, you know, we hardly order stuff out of the catalog. A lot of the stuff we do is either a one-off or geared towards production. So as far as the M120s and Mercedes V12s go, we've got the full catalog from basically, you know, basically a full swap kit. If you want to put it in any platform, any chassis, we've got everything you need, including the wiring harness. So we're offering full turnkey packages and parts and all that fun stuff, from like a stock build to all-out race build. So yeah, it's kind of what we do. We're kind of all over the place, but we take pride in what we do and strive to kind of do the best, you know, fabrication and everything on it. Like, if we don't know how to do it, we'll figure it out. And that's kind of where we are now, man. We're just kind of getting to this race car mode. Everyone's getting their cars put back together. We're gonna be taking this out, hopefully do some grid life events and SCCA around here, and kind of whatever kind of stuff we can do with it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Long story short, it's how we got started, and this is where we are now. All right, guys, so I hope you have liked what you've seen. I know it was a quick and dirty kind of intro to Gooichi, intro to the shop, kind of a rundown of what we do and what we're planning for next year. So please like and subscribe if you like what you've seen, because like I said, we're gonna be pushing social media and YouTube pretty hard. A lot of videos coming out. So like and subscribe again, because we have no followers and we need followers. So to keep doing what we're doing, we need you guys to follow along. So if you have any questions or comments, any questions on the builds, anything in particular, comment below. We'll try to respond in the next video. So stay tuned, guys. Thanks.